All right, welcome to You Don't Know Ball. Today we're going to be talking about the Bears retaining Matt Eberflus, firing Luke Getsy, and pretty much their whole entire offensive staff. Dobbs, do you want to talk a little bit about what you think? Because I have a lot of thoughts on this.
I think that's the best way to do it, because I say exactly. I have a few things to sprinkle in to help out, but you're the one who's going to have the majority of things to say, and that's the way it should be. I think, all right, so for me, you know me, I always like to be like a timeline guy. So start from the beginning. When they brought in Flus, the expectation was that he was going to be the guy, as was it should be, because we're pairing him with Justin, and Justin and him are supposed to create magic. And as the timeline has gone, Justin pretty much underwhelmed pretty heavily minus the rushing until certain games this year. And now we're in a weird position where you have certain guys that used to be in the NFL completely truthing him. You have certain guys that used to be in the NFL saying, no, Caleb's the guy. You have everybody, whether they used to be playing or not, it's like everyone has an opinion on the Justin situation, right? But it's the way I see it, is that it comes down to, and I always go back to windows, right? Like windows are my thing with in the NFL. And like if your window is the window, that was your year, right? And the way that things are going with the Bears, it's like right now, if you keep Justin, I view it personally like, yes, the window is still open. But then we had to go to where, okay, we're going to start paying big boy bucks on this Brock Purdy shit. And what's the situation going to look like where it looks all right now? But when he's the big boy taking up the majority of the salary cap, is it still going to look the same? And when we got to pay these O-line guys, are they going to be able to pay the same guys? And if Justin doesn't have a near perfect O-line, as we've already seen, things go, and he never has. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't give him it's like things should be rough. And it's a no-brainer to me. Caleb is way cheaper, has an improved skill set, and a lot of things Bears fans don't want to hear. But not only is Caleb genuinely, at this point, in my opinion, safer for multiple reasons, because you have a lot longer time with him. I don't even get into all this side notes. And then today, last thing, it's like, it feels like, as of right now, Poles is leaning towards Justin again. So we're in a weird timeline where everything seemed like it would have all made sense for everyone to realize, like, yeah, Caleb's the guy. And not only is he the guy, but the situational guy. And it's like, out of nowhere, Poles just dropped the bomb on everyone. It's like, no, Justin, it looks like could very well much be coming back. I'm not saying for certain. Side note, because it also could just be that if he comes out and says that Justin's not the guy, then you're just tanking his value for the trade. So maybe it's just 4D chess trying to keep Justin's value as high as possible for getting another draft pick from him. But it's like, I'm just back to my timeline. I just feel like with windows, if you keep Justin, the window is minimal, and you get Caleb, that window is at least halfway open. At least.
I don't actually think there's actually any thought in their mind, unless the prospects flop, which at this point I don't think you can with May or Caleb, in terms of like them dropping out of the number 1 and 2 spot. Like that's going to be a quarterback pick, and to have the number 1 pick 2 years in a row is a gift. Think about it. You're basically taking that pick with a gift card. Like this isn't your pick. Like this is a free first round pick and you get the number 1 pick. So here's my thing. I think they're going to be posturing a lot to try to get the maximum trade value out of Justin, because it's like you said, in my opinion, there's really no way that you stick with Justin with the contract. So this is my thing, is I was a big hire Jim Harbaugh guy, and I was listening to the press conference on the way over, and Poles said he didn't even call anyone. He didn't look elsewhere. And my thing is, if you have to question if Eberflus is your guy, in my opinion, he's not your guy. Especially because this is probably one of the biggest free agency markets for head coaches ever that we have seen. And my thing is, these are the 10 wins that these are the 10 wins that Matt Eberflus has as a head coach. The Niners with Trey Lance, the Texans with Davis Mills, the Patriots with Mac Jones. Those are all 2022. Those were his only wins in 2022. 2023, the Commanders, Sam Howell, the Raiders with Brian Hoyer, the Panthers with Bryce Young, who he only beat by 3, the Vikings with Josh Dobbs, who I think he only beat by 3, the Lions with Jared Goff, good quarterback, okay quarterback.
That was redeeming.
The Cardinals with Kyler Murray, good quarterback, but the Cardinals are one of the worst teams in the NFL, and the Falcons with Taylor Heineke. So please tell me, outside of the Lions and Jared Goff, which one of these 10 wins are actually impressive?
Can I drop a side note here too,
Go
real quick?
ahead.
I want to let you keep your rant going. I just want to drop this real quick because I forgot to drop it earlier. In fact, this was one of my original points before we started recording. Like, look, the way that polls approach this to me is like, it's like that's really the biggest red flag is because you were getting that where the guy was getting that insider was getting good information where all the coaches that were going to get fired got fired.
I got it right here.
Except for Flus. Can we give a shout out? Who was the guy?
So this guy, Austin F. Bad Take Fuges on Twitter. Billy, he said this was 4 days ago. This was not today. This was like yesterday. Yesterday I saw the tweet and it was 4 days prior to that. So he tweeted, don't post this, didn't post because of space, but the names that you could be seeing like go on Monday are, so he probably tweeted this Sunday. Billy B, Vrabel, which he was right. Art Smith, which he was right. Rivera, which he was right. Carroll, which he was right. And he said even McDermott if the Bills didn't make the playoffs. Flus was also on there. So the only people that have not been let go are Bill Belichick and McDermott.
But even back to the Bill thing, the Bill was just contingent on the fact that Bill gave up the GM rights. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that it was very much on the table. So then when you consider that, it's like, hold on. So then the main point I was trying to make is that
Everything else was right.
That's the thing is, and then you have to ask yourself, it was probably the decision. And then that's the worst part about it is that polls let him get in the building and get in his emotions.
So
he made an emotional decision. And in this business, I'm sorry, like we said, like I was one of my rant before we started, it's got to be an X and Y thing. If X happens, Y has to happen. But apparently the way polls operates is, if X happens, I'll have a conversation with you and see how I feel. And then I'll approach it from there. Like,
it's so frustrating because if you remember when they hired Poles and he was making all the moves, like I was so like in on what he was doing because it was so different than what Pace is doing. But my thing that really got me in the press conference is basically one of the reporters asked, we've seen this situation before where there's a coach going to a lame duck year. They pair him with a rookie quarterback. They don't do well. They fire the coach, and the rookie quarterback's on his second coach in his second year. And Poles basically, I'm paraphrasing here, Poles basically said like, oh, I view this situation differently because for whatever reason. First of all, you're not special. It's the same situation and cycle we've been dealing with forever. Now, let me ask you this, okay? Dobbs, is Matt Eberflus better than Dan Campbell?
no.
Is he better than Matt LaFleur?
Fuck no.
Is he better than Kevin O'Connell?
Absolutely not.
So you have the fourth best head coach in your own division. Okay, let me ask you this: is Justin Fields better than Jordan Love?
No.
Is he better than Jared Goff?
Not at many skills at the quarterback position.
Is he better than Kirk Cousins? So you have
back to the not many skills.
The worst quarterback in your division paired with the worst head coach in your division, and you think that's a recipe for success?
And what's crazy is that a lot of Bears fans would be mad at me for saying that Kirk Cousins is better than Justin right now. So again, not that Justin doesn't have plenty of skills, but pure quarterbacking, no.
Justin is not the worst quarterback in the league, but he's probably like 20th to 23rd. Like that's where he sits.
I even give him like 16 to 22nd. But yes, like in that
when he has his best games, he's definitely like number 15 to 18
for sure
when he's on, but that's very rare. I guess my thing is you had the potential, you have the most appealing opportunity in the NFL. You have the number 1 pick, the number 9 pick. You have potentially the second most cap space after cuts. If you cut Eddie Jackson, Cody Whitehair, other players you're not keeping. And you don't look elsewhere? Poles said he didn't make any calls. He didn't look elsewhere. My question is, Bears fans, why? Why does he think this is the best option? I don't want to be that guy because like I trust Poles. I really like everything he's done outside of the Claypool trade. And I know we have to trust him with this. But doesn't this seem just like this is the scenario that I feel like everyone felt like this can't happen.
Yeah, and so I'm like, you're absolutely right. And we're going to go back to this in a sec. But I also have to drop this little hot take real quick because it's coming to my mind. And not only is it Ben, I bring this up like every year, but this is the point of the year where I get reminded it still is what's going on. And you're going to agree with this. We've talked about this before. Unfortunately, and it's really fucked up. But with a situation that, in my opinion, Bears fans are in right now with themselves is that I'm sorry. It's going to sound, it's literally, it's mean, but it's true. And I'm just being honest. The reality is a lot of Bears fans have literally never seen elite quarterback play. I'm talking about especially Bears fans that don't consistently watch other teams. So like you're like watching your quarterback and now everybody's convinced that like because Justin's like the best guy you've had in a while, If not, you get my point. The Bears quarterback history is not good. Like, he's for sure the guy. Like, this is the guy. And it's like every other fan base that's had an elite quarterback is like, no, I'm going to tell you firsthand, like, it's not the guy. Like, we've seen the guys. Like, that's not the guy. He's a guy, but he's not the guy. And it's like, but Bears fans can't see it that way because he's the first fucking fun and team lead, like, in a long time you guys have had. Where
he's
there's
definitely
a good
the
vibe.
most loved quarterback that Chicago's ever had.
But now you're in a position where,
besides McMahon,
because a lot of fans are so comfortable with not being at the top tier because they don't even know what the top tier looks like. That's what's crazy to me is, I'm sorry, I'm going to my rant, but the fact that a lot of you can see what Caleb could bring to the team and actually, it's actually like disheartening that you guys would willingly push away that to hold on to what could be. We're already in Justin's 4th year. Like, what? How far? How are we trying to push the ceiling here? Like, Caleb is going to come in and already be at a point where he's going to be near Justin, and the ceiling's way higher. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go like too deep into the rant here, but I saw multiple Bears fans over the past couple weeks on social media actually affirming that, in their opinion, that Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Jordan Love. It is literal fucking delusion. And it's like, no, it's to a point, bro. Like, if you actually genuinely think that Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Jordan Love, you need to have something checked out. I'm not trying to be a dick. Like, something's got to be checked out.
No.
Because
you're
not watching objectively. You watch with your emotions. And let me tell you something about watching with your emotions. It leads you to the exact position you're in now, where you have my guys, and your guys aren't winning you games.
No.
What the fuck are you doing? Like, just Bears fans, genuinely reevaluate if you're on the boat that Jordan Love is not better than Justin Fields. But that's not even the point. The point is stop being delusional willingly.
Yeah.
Someone tell me what's going on here.
It's bad. I mean, like, we'll wrap this up here, but Jason Leisure from the Sun-Times tweeted, he said, one thing that's very clear from the Bears GM, Ryan Poles, is that he's going to be more involved in hiring offensive coaches than he was 2 years ago. Is that not a red flag? Like, think about it. Flus, during the season, had 3, Getty was fired. Well, after the season. The defensive coordinator was fired, and the running backs coach was fired. Like, these are guys Flus hired. Is this not, like, all his offensive staff is gone? Is this not an indictment on his decision-making?
Literally didn't even consider it till just now, but
like,
he's making it 10
This
times
is
worse.
an issue. Like, all the people he hired are gone.
That's my point. This is my point about right now what's making me so mad about Bears fans. Like Dylan said, shouts to Dylan. Y'all need to be outside Hallis Hall fucking chaining yourselves to the wall demanding change. And meanwhile, you got these Bears fans that are like in fucking la-la land. Like, we're all good. Run it back. We're good. You know, you're not. Wake up. Like, genuine. I live in Chicago and it's painful. I go on this rant every fucking year. How many years have I gone on this rant? It's time to wake up and demand more.
All right,
that's
Bears fans, let us know in the comments, who do you think the OC will be? Who do you think the quarterback will be for the Bears next year? Justin Fields or Caleb Williams or Drake May? And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, let us know. Thank you guys for watching. This has been You Don't Know Ball.